Hello guys, welcome back. In this video we are going to build CRUD app using .NET 8 Web API and Angular 17. So first of all, let's set up our environment. First of all, go to .NET.microsoft.com, click on download and then download .NET 8 SDK. Our SDK is downloaded, so let's install it. Let's close first. Install. Now we have successfully installed .NET SDK 8, so let's close it. Let's verify we have installed. Type cmd, type .NET. We have already installed .NET, so let's type .NET help. Let's verify our list of SDK installed in our machine, so type .NET list SDKs. So we have SDK 8.0.100, so our SDK is installed. Now let's set up our IDE. In this video we are going to use VS Code for editing. Go to code.visualstudio.com and click download for Windows. VS Code is downloading. VS Code is downloaded, so let's install. Let's accept agreement. Click next. Next. Add open with code and tick open with code action. Click next. Install. VS Code is set up successfully, so let's finish. Themes and mark all done. Now let's install required extension. Let's go to extension and search for C#. Let's install C# DevKit and C# this one. And another extension we need is C# extension for creating our files, and another extension is NuGet gallery. So this one, let's install. It is installed. Create new folder, name it Full-Stack. Right click and open with code. Click trust and here go to terminal, new terminal. Let's create backend first, so .NET new Web API and output folder will be API. Let's create. So our API is created. One more extension. Let's go to extension and search for real icon. Install it. And click this material icon theme. We have set this beautiful icon. Let's zoom it. Okay. This is our default .NET 8 Web API folder. Let's run this. Navigate to API and run application. .NET was run. This is our default template provided by .NET. So in this tutorial we are going to using controller. So let's remove this So we don't use minimal API in this project, so let's remove it, save it. So let's refresh, so nothing is here. Now let's create one folder called models. Create one model, name it student. Let's add some property, prop id, prop string name. This field is not nullable, so let's say string dot empty prop string. This could be nullable, so address prop string phone number. This could be nullable, so prop string email. This could be nullable, so let's give attribute required for this field, so we don't insert null value in our database. Required it used to prevent nullable data. So this is our sample model, and let's create another folder, data. Inside data, create one class, name it AppDbContext. AppDbContext extend from DbContext. So this comes from AF code. So in this video we are going to use AF code. So install AF code packages. So press Ctrl+Shift+P, type open NuGet gallery, enter, search for AF core, this first one, install it. Another one is AF core tools. So let's close it. Press Ctrl dot using Microsoft Entity Framework core. So let's add constructor and pass DbContext option, which type is DbContext options, and pass it into base constructor. So options. Now add service container here, builder.service.addDbContext, and type is AppDbContext, which is our data context. So options goes to options dot, we are going to use SQLite, so use Sqlite. We have not installed this SQLite, so let's go to NuGet gallery and search for Sqlite and install this one. Click install. Sqlite is installed, so close it. Control dot using Microsoft Entity Framework core, click. So now pass connection string here. For connection string, go to app setting.json and add connection string here. Connection strings, let's remove this, and name of connection string, let's say default connection, and name is data source, let's say student db posit. So from app setting, let's get our connection string. So builder dot configuration dot get connection string. So name of connection string is default connection. That is, in our app setting.json we have default connection, so name will be default connection. This is our connection string. Now create another folder, type controller, inside controller add another class, name students controller. This is our controller class. So let's extend from controller base, which is our base class for controller, which provide us HTTP actions. Let's give attribute API controller, and route will be API slash controller. This means we have student controller, API will be API and students. So this will be our endpoint. Now let's add one method. Let's say public string say hi. This is the simple method which the return type is string, which return something hi. Let's add HttpGet, which is our get method. Let's save and go to browser. Let's refresh it. We don't see anything here because we don't have add controller in our program class. So add controller here. So let's add controller here. Builder dot services dot add controller. Also map controller. This map our controller. So let's restart our application. Dotnet was wrong. Now we have student controller. Let's try it, and we have hi message from backend. So this is our controller. Now add migration to our application. So let's add public DbSet of student set. Let's kill terminal, Control C, and from .NET EF migration add initial. We do not have installed .NET EF core tool, so let's install .NET. Let's type .NET tools install global and .NET EF. So let's enter. EF core tool is installed. So let's run above migration by pressing up arrow. .NET EF migration add initial. This will create our first migration. So migration is created successfully. Here we have initial CS. In this file we have students table and ID column, which is integer, name, address, phone number, email. This is our student table. So let's update database. .NET app database update. Look, we have student DB which is successfully created. For open this database we need another extension, so let's install Sqlite viewer. So let's install it. Successfully installed. So let's press Ctrl+Shift+P, type open database, enter, and student DB. Click this. Here we have solution explorer. Below we have SQLite Explorer. So let's click it and click view. We have nothing yet in our database, so our database is empty now. Let's use this DB in our controller. So let's go to student controller. Let's inject the private read only AppDbContext and context. Let's create constructor AppDbContext and context. Initialize context to context. This is our student controller. Remove this method and create another method which print list of students. So let's add HttpGet method. This method will be API/student which print list of student. So public async task of IEnumerable of student are going to print list of student from here. Get student. Let's fetch data from database. Say students and context student dot is no tracking and to list async and await this result. This will give us list of students. So return students. Let's run application once again. Let's execute. Now we have nothing in our database, so empty array is shown. So let's create another method which will be post method. HttpPost method. Let's say public async task of action result and create. Let's say create and pass student here, student model here, student. Let's validate our request. So model state is valid, is not valid, then return bad request and pass model state here. If our request is valid, then await context dot add async student and let's store result. Await context dot shift change async if result is greater than 0, this means we have successfully inserted student, then return okay, otherwise return bad request. This is our post request list test. Go to post and try it out. Let's pass null here. So we have validation error. The name field is required. So let's pass valid name. Let's say Bob, address TTM, and phone number 9834. Email will be abc@gmail.com. Let's execute it. So we have successfully inserted one data. Let's verify from here. Let's try it out. Execute. We have one student inserted successfully. So let's verify from our DB. Let's refresh it and click here. Now we have Bob, one student is inserted. Let's create another method. HttpGet accept ID from ID integer type from route. Let's say public async task of student. We need to return single student from this method. Let's say get student and integer ID. Let's fetch our data from database. Let's say where student await context dot student dot find async. Let's pass ID. If student is null, then return not found. Return type should be have some result of student. So if we have student, then return okay and pass student from here. Let's test our application to browser. Let's pass one ID. Look, we have one student with ID 1. From here now we have 3 methods. One is get all student, another create student, and another one is get single student by ID. So now let's create another method, another delete method to delete our record. So HttpDelete, and let's pass ID from parameter which type is integer. So let's say public async task if integer. So let's say delete and pass integer ID here. Retrieve data from database. Student await context dot student and async and pass ID from here. If student is null, then return not found, otherwise return okay and student. let's remove student, then and result await context.student context.saveChangeAsync. If we have result 0, then this means we have deleted record from database, so okay, and student deleted student delete, otherwise bad request. Unable to delete student. Let's test again. This was 1 student deleted, so let's verify from here, try it out, execute. Look, we have empty array. This means we have successfully deleted. Let's confirm from here, data here. Look, we have nothing in database, so we have implemented delete action also. So let's add another method with edit student. So let's say HttpPut method, which takes id type integer, public async task, let's say I action result, edit, let's say edit student, this pass integer id and student well, let's retrieve data from database, student from db, and await context.student find async and pass id. The route will be API/student/id. okay. If student from db is null, then return bad request, student not found. Otherwise update our data, student from db dot name is equal to student dot name, student from db dot address is equal to student dot address, student from db dot email, student dot email, student dot phone number, student dot phone number. Okay, let's save where result context.saveChangeAsync. This saves our result. If result is greater than 0, this means we have changes our database. Return okay, and student successfully updated. Let's await our result. Otherwise bad request and say unable to update data. Let's test our endpoint. Go to browser, post, let's say zone somewhere number something and gmail.com. Execute it. Successfully saved. Let's get our student and we have John. Let's edit again. Go to put method. Let's pass id to this id, this one. Let's pass 2 here and let's say John updated and updated address 123.6.7.8.9.10. Email will be bca@gmail.com. Let's execute it. We have successfully updated. Let's confirm from here. Git execute here. So we have updated here. Let's verify from database. Go to Sqlite scroll and refresh. Execute. So we have updated student here. So this is our backend simple CRUD operation. We have get all student, create student by post method, get single student from by id and delete student, update student. Now let's set up environment for Angular development. So let's first download node.js.org. Download 20.10. Let's click node.js is almost download, so let's install it. Click next, accept agreement, click next, click next and install. Node.js is installed, so let's verify. Go to command, type node. So we have already installed Node.js 18 version, so let's close. Now go to angular.io and go to docs, go to get started, then setup, go down and copy it for Angular CLI. So let's type command and paste it. Let's verify our Angular version. So go to command, type ng version. So we have 17.0.8 version. So we have set up our Angular development. So now let's set up our VS Code extension for Angular development. So go to Visual Studio Code, go to extension, type Angular. First of all, install Angular language service. Another one is Angular semantics. And another Angular extension is Angular file switcher. This one, install it. Angular CLI is installed. Our development environment is ready. So let's create our first application. Go to terminal, new terminal, and change this terminal to command prompt. So run ng and application name client. Let's select CSS and no n. Let's say no. This will take little time, so let's pause our recording. Our client application is created, so let's run application. Go to client, navigate to client, and ng serve and open. This is our default template. Let's remove these things. Go to HTML, delete this one. Hello, let's say hello. This is our app component HTML. First of all, let's install Tailwindcss library. So let's go to tailwindcss.com, get started, go to framework guides and go to Angular, copy these 2 lines of code, paste it. Tailwind config file is created. Let's verify our package.json. We have Tailwind 3.4.0. So close it and go to Flow and copy this line. Copy and go to Tailwind config.js, paste here, save, and let's copy this 3 lines of code. Go to style.css, paste it. Let's run application and this close it. We have different hello message. Let's confirm it's work. Class text 3xl. Look, we have bigger title. So for Tailwind, let's install another extension. To extension and type Tailwindcss. Tailwindcss IntelliSense. Install this. Now look, we have beautiful suggestion, text 3xl, 2xl and color. Look, we have changed color. Let's create one component, students. So make command prompt, close it, ng generate component, students, standalone component, and try run, which means it just show our component. So let's navigate first to client, and let's run above command. So this will create this thing, generate component name students and standalone. So our student component is generated. So first of all, let's add router outlet here. Outlet. Let's add one button here, anchor, and router link. Router link will be students. Let's run our application. npm start. Go to browser. Students, and let's add route. Go to route and add our component. So what will be students component will be student component. Let's add router link here. And make it student routing. We cannot bind to router link. This means we have include here router link. Now let's add string. Let's click here. We have student word. Now let's generate service. Go to terminal, new terminal, and just make it command prompt and navigate to client and just type ng-js, generate service and students. Student service is created. So let's open service. Just inject here http client, which type is http client. Okay. Now let's create one type folder types, and let's say student.ts. Let's say interface expert, interface student. And what are the properties of student? Let's go to APIs and model. Let's copy. Let's copy this class and let's say remove these things. Let's say ID number, remove it. Name string, address string, and phone number also string, and email also string. Let's remove these things and let's save it. First of all, let's fetch our student. from our service. So let's create one method, get students this.http.get, run our API. .NET was run. Let's copy it, copy, and API students. This return, what is the return type of this student? So array of students. So let's make it students of students array. The return type of HttpGet student method is observable of student array. Let's go to student and inject our service. So inject student service is equal to inject student service. Implement on init. On init method is called on initialize. Let's implement it and let's make this declared variable student. Type is observable of student array. So let's set this .student service .get student and subscribe. Next, response. This log response from server. If there is error, then error will go to here. Let's run our client and backend application. Go to student. Here we have null injected error. For this we should include HTTP client module in app config. So go to app config, provide client HTTP client. So let's save and go to here, go to student. Now student root, but we have cross origin error. We need to enable our cross from backend. So go to program.cs and at the bottom just use course options, goes to options dot allow any header, options dot allow any method, and options allow any origin. So let's save it. Now just restart our application again. .NET was run. Let's go to student. Now we have array of student. So let's print it in our student component. Let's initialize our student to this dot students, let's make it observable. Dollar and dollar is equal to this, so remove these things. Let's save it and go to student component. Let's render list. So for item of students async we need to import async by. Let's save it. Now error is removed. Track item. Let's print span. Sorry, item dot name. We have zone updated. So let's make it little beautiful. So deep class shadow rounded MB p3. This means let's put and paste here. We have card. Just wrap this with grid template grid column 4. Just wrap this tip with grid. So we have card. Let's make it 3. No, just it make 4. Let's wrap this with div class 10. Okay. So go to opponent.html and wrap this with div class 10. This means padding 10, padding 2.5 rem. The same. Okay, let's make this title little bold. So let's add class. This is bold. Text to XL. Let's add this one here. Class text XL on bold all students. Just make 2XL and semi-bold. This is good. Let's make gap of 5. Let's create one student here. So go to post, try it out. From to Kathmandu, phone number something, email gmail.com. Let's execute. We have successful response. So let's go to and refresh it. We have 2 students. Now let's make little beautiful. So let's flex item and let's make deep and deep. Let's copy. We have 2 here. Just bring this here. Let's say flex and let's save it. Okay, let's get post from here and to uppercase. So let's give class page blue 500 rounded full and p2 p5. Okay, just give height width of 10 and height 10. So make it flex, justify center, item center. So let's make text white, font bold, just looking like good. Gap 10. No, this gap will be here. Not 10, just 5. Just make it item center. Look, we have center item, and just give some margin bottom and b10. Just looking good. Let's make little big. Just give class text 3xl, to bold just xl. It's fine. Okay, and give another is 4. We have item dot address, just say text gray 500. Another is phone number. Just want to add icon here, go to bootstrap icons and pick up location. Just bring this one. Let's copy this SVG, let's paste here. Okay, just wrap with div and give flex to this div. So item center gap 2. Look, it is looking good now. MT2 and MB2. Little blue. Think MT1 is good, MB1 is good. This is name, so let's make it title case. So go to here and title case. Just go to component and import common model title case. So let's say we have capital letter. Use here also, use title case here. We have another thing. Let's bring another, go to icons and let's bring this one. Just go to and copy it. Let's also make wrap with tip, class plates, item center gap 2. Paste it, bring this line of hook. Yeah, beautiful. I can just give little color, text, gray 500. Okay, let's print another things. Just copy it, paste it, and email. Copy email from here. Email. Just copy this icon, copy it, paste here. Now let's add two icon. Bring edit this one, copy it, paste it, and another is delete. This one, copy from here, paste it. Let's make justify content between be full. Let's bring these things outside this tip. Let's wrap these two div into one single div. So let's cut div, paste it, and that's it. So let's make it flex and item center, gap 2, make it justify between. So let's make gap 5 here, 4 or maybe 5. It's looking good. So let's make some gap between these two icons. Go to bottom and make flex direction column and gap 2. Okay, it's good. Let's make gap 4, 5, maybe. Okay, now let's add button and let's make give class p2 bg blue. Okay, have blue and text white, rounded md, rounded full, and shadow md. Hover will be pg blue 400. Let's save, and we have this icon. So let's make delete icon also. Let's wrap with bottom state class bg red 400 text white p2. Okay, and rounded full and hover bg red So easy rate 300. Let's give some more padding. 5 is too big, 3 will be good. Let's make 3. Okay, good. We have delete icon and edit icon. Let's start implementing edit operation. So go to terminal, new terminal, and just set it command prompt, navigate to client, generate component, ng generate component students, and inside student component name will be student form. Student form is created. So let's go to route, app route, and add here path will be students slash id. Component will be student home component. Okay, let's go to app component HTML. Let's go to student component and let's make it anchor and set routerlink just 8. Go to component and import routerlink. Save it back to student component and let's make slash students wrapped array int item.id. Let's make it anchor, save it, go to browser, edit it. Okay, we have student form. Let's create form inside form component. Go to form component, div class shadow. Let's wrap with div input text class border w by third 1 by 3 and mx dot 10 rounded md 2 rounded md. This folder will be name. x54 and duplicate it. Setting of this tip tabular full and my5 for mi4. Okay, let's change it address, email, phone, color. Let's make it little small. 3 bottom plus pg blue text white save and cancel shadow md text blue md px4 dy2 ml4. Let's make it shadow md px4 dy2 rounded md. Okay, bottom to bottom cancel and save. So let's make it form and form. Save it. Let's import reactive forms module. Let's make constructor. Let's inject form builder. Form type will be form group. Let's implement on init method. So let's implement it. Let's initialize this dot form is equal to the fe.group group name. The student model is this, so we need this property. Let's copy it and paste here. Let's remove get interior comma interior comma interior comma now let's register this form group inside our student form. So let's go to student form and form group with form. So let's register controller from control name and from control name address. The property of our model, student model form control name equal to phone number. This will be, we don't need id here, so remove it. And form control name and the property is email. So let's make it email. Let's make it number. Let's save it. Student edit. Now let's see console. Nothing error here. Fill form. So just print out something here. Form.value JSON. So just register JSON pipe. Include JSON pipe here. JSON pipe. Now error is gone. So name is 01 Kathmandu email at, sorry, we have fixed this error. Number, not email, phone. Let's say phone number, phone, and this will be email. Let's say email.com. This is our phone group, so let's rename it email. So import common model routerlink, and let's make it anchor. So when user cancel, routerlink will be /students. Test cancel student. So let's go to edit. Let's make method in service. So go to service and let's extract this URL into variable. So API URL equal to this one. So this API URL. Now add student of observable of what? Go to student controller. When we add student, we send nothing. So we do this dot HttpPost this dot API URL and data and student model data. Let's close everything. Open student form. Go to student form and let's make one method on submit. Just log data this dot form dot value. So let's add this here in the submit. Submit. Let's test. Say we have form value here. So let's post this form value in backend. So let's inject our service here. Student service. Inject student service. We can inject service in constructor. Let's invoke the method student service dot add student and this dot form dot value. Subscribe. Next will be response. Just log it. Response. If there is error, then error goes to log error. So let's test. Email.com. Save. Look, we have 400 bad requests. Let's see message. Go to network tab, preview, validation error. So let's say our payload, our phone number is string, so we send our number to string, so make it text and let's try again. Test ccmate910 and gmail.com. So let's save. All is success, 100. okay, so that's it. We have successfully added data. Let's cancel this. We have test here. Now let's unsubscribe our method. So after destroying this component, so we don't need to subscribe our service, so make one subscription. So let's say student form subscription, type subscription, let's say this student subscription, and let's implement destroy method. This student subscription dot unsubscribe it. Now let's validate our form. So go to here, initial value null, and validators dot required initial email null, and validator dot email. So let's go to component, form component, and let's wrap this form with div span class text rate 400, name is required only, so if home.controllers, let's say name here. Look, we have name is required, so if we fill name, so it's work. Now let's validate this email. So div, let's say if, let's copy these things and reuse it here. Email dot toast email should be valid. Let's go to browser and refresh. ABC, so this is invalid email, and if I add address, it gone away. So this is our validation. Now remove this form value from here and go to form component and inject here private router activated router. We are going to use activated route here for getting this ID from route. So let's go to onion method and this dot activated router dot params.subscribe, and next we have response log response. Otherwise we have error goes to input error. Let's say browser, we have id4. Let's get id from here. Now we have 4, so let's make another get method in our service. So let's create get student method. id, this type is number, it will be observable of student. So this dot http dot get this dot api url plus slash and append id here. So let's get student from here. We save it, go to student form, and just go to here and invoke our method this dot student service dot get student and response id subscribe method. Next response error goes to here. Let's save it. We have id4 and name is test. Let's pass this form. So let's say this dot form dot pass value and response. Let's save and with browser we have form field. Let's make is edit false. If there is id, then this dot is edit true. So let's go to form and let's add here s5 dot text xl and let's say is edit true, then edit student, otherwise student. So now we have edit. If you go to edit, then it fill form automatically. If you go to here, so let's make one changes. Go to here, let's just copy from here, save, just remove these things and these things. Look, we have edit student. Okay, let's cancel it. Look, we have error here, something cannot read property of undefined reading unsubscribe. This means we need to check if we have this student subscription, then we need to destroy, we need to unsubscribe it. So let's check it. Yes, it works. So now let's make this student little bit bold. So go to font semi bold. Okay, it's good now. So PY10, PY8 is good. Our form is ready. So let's add one button in our student component. So go to here and tap this with one div, anchor, routerlink, student. Let's make it visible in text file, rounded MD, px file, UI2. Let's make it flex, gives flex, justify between, just say in I1, and let's say item center. Okay, it's okay. We haven't configured our student form, so let's go to route. So let's go to route, app route, and duplicate it. Ctrl Shift D. So let's make it form. So let's see console what happened. Student/form, students, not students. So let's make it student, and let's say working and add student here. So our form is working. And one more thing here. Our on init, if we have, let's make one other subscription to destroy parent subscription. So parent subscription to here destroy parent subscription, and if on destroy, go to if destroy parent subscription available, then destroy this unsubscription unsubscribe. Okay. Let's check one more thing. Let ID is response ID. If no ID, then return immediately from here. Otherwise subscription get here. So let's pass ID here. Let's save and see. Now we don't call get by ID method. So let's add one more thing. Let's add one more student. New student of the 4 add student. So now we have successful. So let's cancel Let's do one more thing here. If our response is success, then inject one more thing here. So private router, so route this router navigate by URL. So go to students, save and test one more. Say test. So let's add. Now we have working a direction. So let's implement beautiful toast. Let's add ng toaster to our application. Go to Google and say ng toaster. Go to this first link, then copy it, paste it here. So read documentation. So go to below and provide toaster in app config. So go to app config, let's close this terminal, provide toaster. Let's go to here and inject toaster service. Let's break down. It is not visible, so right now let's inject toaster service. Let's set here this toaster service success. Student successfully added. Okay, let's save it. Test now. So let's save. We don't see anything here. We have forget to add this CSS in our CSS file. So go to CSS file, then add above it, save it, and let's do once again. Okay, we have student successfully add message. So this is working now. Now implement our delete method. So go to student service and duplicate it, delete student. So go to student controller and let's see what we are written from here. We have written just a message, so nothing. That means let's say we don't need anything here, so let's remove it and just remove it. Delete method. So let's implement delete method in component. So go to student component HTML and in this button let's bind click delete. So item.id, the component, make one method, delete id number, type of id is number. So this student service delete student, pass id and subscribe. Next response, next response goes to just inject toaster here, inject toaster service just say nullable, and this dot toaster service dot successfully deleted. Okay, test just make this method reusable. So private get students, this one, this do not return anything. So this dot get student, if response successful then reload students. Okay, let's save and test application. Delete it. So let's see in our console we have error here. Error say delete method. Let's go to controller, and here should be object, so say is to it from here and also remove these things from here, so we don't need these things in front end. So let's go to and let's check it out. Test Sqlite.com. Yes, add remove. So we have removed. So let's implement edit method. So first of all add new and add theme. So let's try to edit this. So go to student form, and let's go to student submit form. If this dot is not edit, then it is, then just add student, otherwise this dot student service dot edit, we don't have edit method. So let's go to student service and make one method, edit student, so number and data will be student model. So let's pass a student here, data here, and put method. Okay, let's save student service dot edit student. This dot let's store id 0, this dot id, and let's go to this dot id. So go to edit student and this dot value form and values. So let's subscribe and next value is to service.success edited successfully. So otherwise error. Yes, so error service.error unable edit. So let's save it and try. Let's edit. Let's edit and just navigate by URL. So students, let's save and just edit it now. We have successfully implemented edit operation. So let's do one more thing. So let's edit these things. Edit, let's delete this, deleted. So let's add let's edit it. So let's delete it and let's go to page. Let's go to student. It make little bit like anchor. So let's give visible 600 text white. Rounded MD extend. So py. Thank you for watching. This is our Full-Stack.NET Web API and Angular 17 CRUD operation.